All right, what's going on, you guys? Hope you are all doing well. I'm switching up some gear today, so I'll start off with the soap that I'm going to be loading up. So this is an old label of the Now Declaration Grooming, and at that time, Chantilly Luxe was perfuming, making all the aftershaves and stuff, and so I guess the perfume at that time got sent to Scott at L&L Grooming to make this soap, Champs de Lavande, and I really like the performance of this soap as well as the scent. And I'll probably talk a little bit about the ingredients and just some comments on the performance. So this is I haven't used this in probably like 3 years. But it's a very soft soap. This is one of those soaps that I would say is a very super fatted soap. So I'm going to be using the PAA Green Ray Synthetic. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pour a little bit of water on there. I don't think that should be too much, but I'll just pour a little bit off. So if you guys want to see, not too much water. I didn't soak this, so it will go in dry. Within those first couple swirls, it ends up soaking up that water. So this the soap, looking at the ingredients, so stearic acid, water, potassium hydroxide, and then avocado oil. So having potassium hydroxide, that high up there is going to make part of this consistency on the softer side. I can't give you guys too many details on how the avocado oil affects the texture or the softness or the hardness, but I do know that when you make a soap with avocado oil, one of the benefits to the skin is when you get the avocado oil in a soap, you get a lot of the composition remains unsaponified. So they say like it's got a high amount of unsaponifiables, and I think what that means is that it just remains a very highly nourishing type of oil to use in a saponified soap. The other things that are in this would be glycerin next. This has bison tallow. This also has mango seed butter, castor seed oil, fragrance sodium hydroxide, lanolin, bentonite clay, seed buckthorn extract, white willow bark, grapeseed oil, and phenoxy ethanol. Couple other ingredients. So I'm going to just go one more little dab of water, and I think we'll probably be good right there. This the soap has a very thirsty profile, so to speak. I'm going to put quite a bit of water in it, so I wouldn't be surprised if this makes quite the mess. I already have the razor loaded up, so once this gets all hydrated, we're going to be shaving with, again, a Bolzano blade on its third use. Bolzano Super Inox. Today I'm actually going to be starting with the carbon original base plate, and then maybe after that first pass with the grain, we'll do an against the grain using the minus base plate. So we'll do a little bit of both. I actually have the plus base plate coming in today, but I was actually wanting to use this original base plate again, just to kind of I'm just going to keep going for this water. See. Maybe we won't do so much exfoliation. So yeah, with this type of soap, the loading is kind of weird. It's one of those soaps that is just a little more on the tacky and kind of sticky side. I don't find it quite as difficult to lather as like Mystic Waters. Since I use the Mike's and the Haslinger more recently, I kind of prefer loading off those just since it's a harder puck. Let's go for more water. I think I've only tried 2 different soaps from Scott. I do not remember what the name of the base was, but he had the Santal Oster. I forget if that one had it had another like animal fat in it, I think. I gave it some more post-shave. This could easily probably take like I remember it taking a lot of water. And I don't know that over my experience with different soaps, I don't know that the amount of thirst really is the most accurate way of kind of judging whether one is more successful over the other. But generally, I do find that most of the soaps I prefer that work well do take up a lot of water. They kind of like and have a sweet spot for some of the more hydrated lather. You guys, I mean, like I said, I haven't used this in quite a few years and it works great. Okay, first pass with the grain. Let's go carbon. Original base plate. Next few videos, you guys will probably see me using the carbon plus plus base plate and the minus base plate. And then what I'll do is sometime later this month, I'll get the feather. Not really feeling quite as smooth as the other 2 shaves that I had with this Bolzano. Or maybe this is the 4th shave using the Bolzano. What's going on? Just doesn't feel like it's let's do this. I'm going to throw in a new Bolzano blade. Let's see if maybe that's what's going on here. I'm lacking experience with the Bolzano blade, so I don't know if maybe for my beard type they have a little bit of a shorter lifespan. Like I said, I can't remember if this is the 4th shave that I had on that blade. I mean, it's cutting, it's just, I don't know. It's feeling a little odd. Very well could feel probably the same on the other side, so let's just, for the heck of it, put a fresh blade in. What I was going to tell you guys about the say. I think I was going to say something about blades. Yeah, this lather's fine. I'm not going to. Very sheeny. All right, let's see if this cuts any differently. I think that fresh blade definitely helped out. So maybe that's what I was just kind of feeling over here, was just that it still was cutting. It just was maybe just felt a little worn down. You know what? Maybe we'll make this a 3-pass shave. So let's do the second pass with this original base plate and let's go across the grain. I have no idea how close that's going to leave my skin for maybe an against the grain pass, but so after I'm done with this new Bolzano blade, I'll give the feather a test and a couple of the carbon razors and then the BBS one. And then the BBS one, I think I'm going to be holding off on shaving with that for a while, or I may decide to get rid of it. I don't think this is anything groundbreaking, but you know, I think what maybe doesn't get discussed as much is understanding that, like, when we're in this hobby, or we'll say community of shaving, I don't think there's an issue with us kind of wanting to help enable one another to try out different things, or make suggestions on the next thing to consider buying or trying. But just the fact that there's some of us that may have a more narrow sweet spot for gear that may be most suitable, while there's others that I think may have more resilient skin, that can kind of take a wider range of different shave tools. For me, I think, last year was more about really understanding what razors, the hardware, where that leaves my skin, because for a long time I really preferred those very efficient razors. So I really was kind of after what was the most efficient. And I really like getting those, very, we'll say, quick shaves, in the sense that, for one pass with, let's say, like an R41, or let's say like last year I tried the haircut and shave, titanium, what was it, the P076, the positive blade exposure, the blade gap. So across the grain, you guys. Another razor that I think I remember having a lot of, this feels pretty good. What am I forgetting? The Traderi Open Comb. I had one of the first edition ones. A Fatip, the Italian open comb razor. That's got a lot of efficiency, or aggressiveness, if that's what you want to say. But again, I bring this up because there's a variety of us, whether they're people on the forums or on YouTube or on Facebook or whatever. Some people really find that, they like certain things about one razor, but that ultimately it's really just not as suitable for them as they would prefer. And so they kind of continue their journey of searching for a more fine-tuned razor for their beard and their skin. And for me, if those of you guys that may watch, happen to be, making videos yourself or making content, a question you might have to ask yourself is, if you're trying to grow your channel, how much of that is based off of showing off new hardware or new brushes or new soaps. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that for me, I've realized that I don't want to, and it's just very personal, I don't want to waste my time just using different stuff on camera for the sake of trying to grow this channel. I really have zero interest in that. I kind of like the manageable size of people that I'm able to interact with now. And there's just other people that have a better avenue for kind of spreading that type of content, sharing with the shade community, the new stuff that's coming out, kind of putting you guys in touch with the different artisans. And that's something I should probably touch on, just communication with artisans. But I just think about some of the people that I got in touch with last year that, are on the newer side of shaving. Again, even within a year, I don't mean anything bad by that, because with this hobby, we are so quick to just kind of dive deep early on. And I definitely was one of those people, 7-8 years ago, getting into this hobby. And so I'm just finding that I really have a preference for, a very small select few types of safety razors. And maybe if I had tougher skin, I would prefer to have arsenal or a larger rotation of safety razors, so to speak. But I'm just finding this year, I'm definitely fine with just using the various carbon razors. So this is the minus base plate now, same blade. And so like with that carbon original base plate, I don't mind that blade gap, but I think maybe just the amount of blade exposure is what I don't necessarily get along as well with, say on this like against the grain pass. Getting a lot of wind today here in SoCal. Some like really crazy wind. So I kind of bring this up because obviously the other razors that I've been talking a lot about last year were either like the Razor Rock Lupo or the different Wolfman razors such as the WR2 or the WR1. And Razor Rock, last week, 2 weeks ago, came out with the second rendition, or third rendition of the Razor Rock Lupo. I think we're hearing a lot of positive reviews, but it's just kind of neat seeing more people find that kind of WR1 closed comb razor to be a very efficient and a very smooth razor. And I guess for me, I'm finding that the closeness of the shave doesn't need to kind of be maxed out by the end of my shave. If there's a little bit of stubble left, I'm okay with that. What I'm more after is the overall smoothness of my skin. Hopefully I haven't, overdone it during my shave. And that I kind of enjoy whatever razor I'm using, as far as kind of how easy is it to use, how focused do I have to be while I'm shaving. I definitely do try to have a good balance of enjoying my shave and not kind of stressing out too much, because I tend not to rotate quite as frequently between my gear as maybe some of you guys do. Maybe I have an easier time kind of fine-tuning maybe what made a shave better or worse, but that's, I think, just purely a guess. Nice shave. I kind of feel like it's maybe not as close as these last few shaves that I've got, but I already kind of did 2.5, 3 passes. So let me just rinse my face one more time and I'll throw on the aftershave. But yeah, for whatever reason, this original base plate, I think I've decided that sometime later this year I am going to buy the Plus plate and revisit that. I'm going to buy that in titanium and see if it maybe works a little bit better than this 0.68 base plate. All right. Champs de Lavande. This has got to be, 4 years old? I ended up getting these a long time ago. So this is the aftershave. I tried maybe like three other scents from Declaration Grooming from back in the day, or L&L Grooming. I remember liking the face feel of this. I can't remember what it is about this. I got to try Dark Fall. That was kind of a really, really bold more winter or very strong bolt scent. How much do I have left of this? I might as well just go one more splash. The other one I got a chance to try was that something spice curette. I can't quite remember. I did like a lot of his scents. I also did like a lot of his. The performance of all of them was good, but definitely the scent of this one is nice. His soaps, though, with the types of ingredients he uses, I think you're definitely going to get some of that feeling of when you're smelling it. You do smell the perfume, but you also smell that underlying base. But anyway, I think the razors for this year, it's going to be pretty much the carbon razors. I don't know that I'm going to even get much use with this original base plate. The next shave, like I said, you guys will see me use that plus base plate. Doesn't look like I got any nicks. Maybe I did. I can't see quite as well on the computer versus looking in the mirror. Face doesn't feel hot. The burn on this wasn't really bad at all. Very nice shave. But yeah, I've really enjoyed, and you guys, this is something I've mentioned before. So Carbon is not the only, obviously the only US based razor maker. So if you guys prefer to use a different razor maker, or you want to kind of support a variety of razor makers, I totally think that's fine. I've just tried to kind of pull some of my investment and some of the hardware that I have out so that I have a smaller collection or smaller rotation of stuff that I really know how it's going to work and really when I want to use it, rather than having a huge collection of razors that might get used less often. And then the other thing I was just going to mention about blades is after I'm done trying the feather, I'll probably stick with trying to use Kai for quite a while. So that way when I'm going back to using the other razors that I like, or the other base plates, maybe the software and the brush is really the only thing that's getting rotated. But yeah, it's been nice to just kind of rotate through some of the other artisan soaps. You know, the Haslinger is obviously made in Austria, but the Mike's, the L&L Grooming, I'll probably use Mystic Water sometime soon, and then probably by February I'll kind of be in the mood to stick with some SV. But there's a little bit of menthol, I think, in this aftershave. Skin feels really good. I probably would be fine for the rest of the day not using any cocoa butter, and to be honest, that's probably what I'm going to do. Even though it's very windy, if I were to use, let's say like years ago, one of those high coconut oil soaps like Chun Fung Sing or Razor Rock soap, or I don't know, just something like that, the post shave would be quite a bit more drying. And this is something I didn't mention about Mike's. One of the things I don't like about some of these American artisan soaps is I tend to find the lanolin and just these in combination with like the animal fats, it tends to leave a little bit more of a post shave that is very hydrating for the skin, but it's a little waxier. It's a little bit kind of tacky feeling. So I think for those of you guys that really need that post-shave protection, like if you're in a very windy or a very dry, cold climate, these types of soaps I think are what you want to consider. But I just found over the years that although my skin is on the drier side, a soap like SV that has just a little bit of that post-shave feel, it's not the most greasy feeling or oily leaving post-shave, those I just tend to like a little bit more. I don't know. I don't think that they're necessarily better or worse. It's just I don't always like the very heavy feeling post-shave. But yeah, I don't know that I have much more to add. So great shave overall. It's been nice kind of changing pace a little bit with the brushes and the soaps, trying out the new blade. So I'll probably use this Bolzano blade 2-3 more times, and then we'll switch over to the feather, and that'll be really interesting to see how I like the feather in the carbons and in the BBS1. But anyway, hope you guys are all doing good. Let me know if you guys have any questions or suggestions or any comments. But anyway, I'll let you guys go. Have a good one and take care.